to our podcast, you guys. I am
Welcome.
Percy,
I'm LD.
and you guys are watching or listening to
To
Two
Go
Go Mike.
Mikes.
Friend, you got me tripping out over here. We were just having a conversation, and friend, it's a trip. So I won't even tell y'all what was talked about. But
I'm not because I don't want y'all to run it out,
right,
and then I lose my privilege of doing.
right, because
I'm doing what I'm doing.
I done took notes already. I know what to do.
I can't tell everybody because next thing you know, it won't be there.
Gotta keep it on low.
Keep it on the low.
But how has your week been so far, friend?
Stressful, but I feel like I said it every week though.
Yeah. I feel like we both do. We do a lot of things though. But this week I've been telling myself like it's okay to have a lot going on, but it's about your mindset and your point of view, how you viewing your situation. Like you could view it in a positive light, say, I got a lot of things going on, I'm getting a lot accomplished, opposed to looking at it like, oh, I'm so stressed out, I got a million things to do. Because normally that's me. I'm normally in that bag where I feel like overwhelmed. So I have to like change my perspective.
I don't know. I'm always usually like optimistic. I'm a workhorse, so
Yeah.
I work. Like I work today. I mean, I work every day, but like this up today, doing stuff here for the second business. Yeah, I know we are both in the Airbnb game, so
Yep. Real estate investments.
right, trying to grow that for next year. That's really my goal. So I just been back and forth. My brother's having a baby, so we're having a baby shower this weekend. So I've been kind of like helping them with that. And then
I can't wait to see pictures of that too, because I know it's gonna be a fabulous event.
I just hope I messed them boots up. But all right.
Moving on. Good old Kiki.
Get off.
Don't y'all wish y'all know. But anyway.
I might pull up to FedEx with them on.
Clicking and all.
Here y'all go.
Return to sender.
Return.
That's hilarious. But you've been planning trips and everything too, friend. You got
I am. Like I am. Like I want my summer to be
our year, not just summer, but
true.
This is
definitely the year. But I feel like I have so much stuff going on. I have to break it down into seasons.
There you go. There you go. We love a good seasonal girl.
Because we're going to Atlanta. Well, Percy's going to Orlando. He's going to Disney.
Yes, y'all pray for me. I'm going to Florida.
The most magical place on earth. Y'all are going to love it.
Yes, I can't wait.
My family and I, we went for Christmas, and if we didn't have we have two babies coming this year. If we didn't have two babies coming, we would be back. It would probably be a year.
Well, y'all going to be back anyway because y'all have to take the babies next year, so. Maybe next year, but
I might be
about
back.
2 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Give about 5. If I'm going to spend...
Yeah.
They need to remember.
Yeah, that's true.
I need them to be remembering.
But you're really going for you anyway.
I'm going for me.
That's just an excuse.
I'm rich auntie, so I can go. I'm gonna go regardless.
Love it.
I'm gonna go regardless. But we're planning to go to Atlanta next weekend, and we keep saying we're gonna do a vlog. We're gonna do a vlog. We're gonna do a vlog. So we are finally going to do a vlog.
Yeah.
If I have to make them go back in their rooms, get undressed,
now come back out
and record. Take that off and record yourself putting it on. It's going to happen,
man.
I'm not playing.
Yeah, we got to get a montage or something for you guys. So you guys,
we do. Not montage. We're gonna do them grown
vlog.
Get ready with me, y'all. Am I the only one out here who thought the GRWM was a grown? I ain't never knew it was Get Ready With Me.
I had to tell them
just found this out
that it was Get Ready With Me, but I was so shocked.
You said he's grown. He was like, "What? Grown?
What are you talking about?" Friend.
He was like, "Get ready with me." I fell out.
But he's not the only one. It's a lot of y'all on social media that still think it's grown to this day. So ain't no shade.
Listen,
but it's Get Ready With Me.
We don't get on socials to be reading no captions.
Right. See the picture in the video.
Hello, this right here.
Yes,
right here. That's what I'm doing. Then we're going. Oh, I'm going to Denver this summer. I also want to go to Alicia Keys concert here in Memphis. I want to go to Drake concert.
I'm with the smoke
here in Memphis.
I don't know if I'm gonna make Drake. He's the first one, right? He's coming first. How soon is that?
I want to say I feel like they're like in the same week. Okay. I want to say Drake is the end of June.
End of June. Okay, I might be able to make Drake happy. I want to make Drake happy because I heard he gives a phenomenal show, and I am a Drake fan. So it'd
Look
be good to see
now,
him in concert. I'm trying to see all my folks before they go or before I go.
absolutely. Here's a June 29th.
Okay. Yeah, I might have a check. I might be able to spend a check June 29th
I
to
ain't
see
spending that
Drake.
check. I'm gonna put her right on.
Off her. I'm
Hello,
so tired of using her though. She tired of me. So I'm
Klarna,
gonna have to get her a break.
Afterpay, Zip Pay, PayPal, Pay, Apple now doing paying for. Come on, come
Listen,
on.
in the US, they're gonna have to start affirming some of their debt in a minute. If they keep on going the way they're going.
Okay, so let's get into it. We'll
Let's get on
talk
into it.
your ear off with our personals. But let's jump right into the show. If this is your first time watching, thank you for tuning in. Check us
Yes.
out.
Greatly appreciate it.
Oh, and send us some feedback. We'll love it. We're new to this.
Mm-hmm.
It's all hunky dory.
Right.
But let's get into the political rundown. That's when I come to you, we come to you with what's going on in politics, what's relevant for us, what's relevant for the culture, both black and gay, because we're at the intersection. And that's just how we do things here. First things first. So Donald Trump's criminal trial is set. As you all know, we've been talking about Donald Trump. So his criminal trial is set for March 25th, 2024. The date is interesting. Well, I mean, it's not interesting. He doesn't really have any control over it, but it's in the middle of the Republican presidential primary season. So it's definitely going to change the landscape of the Republican primaries, and it will definitely impact them negatively.
Definitely giving clown show.
It's definitely giving clown show, and that is not going to work for the betterment of him during the season, because a lot of the Republican candidates, a few episodes back, and you guys haven't watched, just go back a few episodes back. We did like a rundown of all of the many people who had already thrown their hats into the race on the Republican side and the Democrat side, and we'll talk a little bit about two more people that we have here interesting. But Judge Juan Merchan, he read Trump an order on what he can and cannot say publicly about the case. And evidence his legal team will get from the prosecutors to prepare for the trial. So these criminal charges, they stem from District Attorney Alvin Bragg's investigation into hush money that was paid to adult film star Stormy Daniels, who alleged an affair with Trump, and of course Trump denied. But the hush money was illegal at the time. Um, Judge Merchant, he signed off on a protective order, which in part said that the case evidence prosecutor gives Trump defense he cannot speak about in any way, in any shape, in any form. It specifically said it cannot be shared or posted to any news or social media platforms, including but not limited to Truth Social, which is a very conservative app out there.
Say, I didn't know
It's a conservative app. So think of Fox News to the max.
Oh no, I'm about to
like think worse than like Fox News, no. And that's kind of True Social. But hey, it's experience and livelihood for somebody, just not me. But True Social, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, Twitter, Snapchat, or YouTube without prior approval from the court. So Trump can only view some of the evidence and the evidence has to be designated by prosecutors for him to be able to view it, but he cannot talk about it on any social media platform of any kind, any news outlets. He can't do interviews about it without approval from the judge, which is basically nilch. So I think that's more interesting is the fact that just seeing if he's going to keep his mouth closed about that.
Oh, child, he's going to have some slip-ups.
Absolutely. And the fact that the judge had to do this just goes to show that he would probably have talked about it to kind of almost like weaken public opinion about the evidence. So he is not allowed to speak on any of the evidence. So that means we, the people, won't hear anything about it until March when the trial starts. And I would be very tuned into the trial. I love a good public trial. I don't know about you, just not for me. I can't be on it.
It just drains me.
But also, he can only view the evidence, limited dissemination materials in the presence of his attorneys, He cannot copy it. He cannot photograph it. He cannot just transcribe it.
Man, that'll be hard.
Or otherwise independently possess the evidence per the order. And this is all in the order in these specifics. So this is very specific, this order about what he cannot do with this evidence. Trump and his legal team can still talk about the case publicly because there's no gag order in effect to prevent him from talking about the case, but they cannot discuss the evidence. They can't hint at it. They can't tell you. They really can't even tell you where to go find it at this point. So you won't hear anything about it, and if you do, just know there will be legal ramifications, repercussions. What they used to say? I don't know. We won't be able to save him from that book. So there's that. So just be tuned in next year, March 25th. That's the date. I doubt it gets pushed back. They might try to, but it had nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
Also, we talked about how America may need to pay for their debt.
Mm-hmm.
So
that was really good.
Affirm, Zip Pay, Apple Pay. Yeah, you're the customer. So parties ramp up the pressure on both Biden and McCarthy to hold the line in debt talks. So the talks have not been going well. I feel like every meeting that they have, somebody walks out of the room. Republicans still want budget cuts to be included in the approval of raising the debt limit. But however, Democrats do not want to be strong on this, talking about budget cuts during this time. But CNN did a poll that 60%, I want to say CNN did a poll, over 60% of America said like that they're okay, like with talks of the debt talks of raising the debt ceiling.
Right.
The legislation that goes with that budget cuts can like they're okay with this. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't know. They're dragging this whole thing out. It's a little bit dramatic to me. I feel like eventually, of course, they're all going to come to one term and decide to raise the debt limit anyway.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's 11:59 p.m.
Yeah, that's what it's giving that because I feel like that, like you said.
But the question is, who is going to fold? So right now, it doesn't look like either side is willing to do that. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy told Republicans during a closed-door meeting Tuesday that they're nowhere near a bipartisan deal with President Joe Biden. And Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, she's a nonpartisan congressional. She's over the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office. Said Friday that, of course, there is still significant risk to not come into agreement in terms of this talk.
Right.
The federal government will no longer be able to pay all of its obligations during the first 2 weeks of June. And a lot of experts are warning, putting out warnings about the consequences of an agreement not being reached, which can include mass layoffs, market mayhem, and spiked borrowing costs, as well as almost like a scarlet letter for America because we're kind of like the world hedge. Kind of run everything. So it's going to have major global implications if the Republicans and the Democrats do not reach an agreement.
And to your point, you asked the question earlier, who's going to fold? I think, honestly, just from like a Republican standpoint, like you really don't have too much footing to stand on because at the end of the day, if the debt ceiling isn't increased, then, like you said, it's significant risk not only to the U.S., but to the world who, depends on the U.S. as a superpower in itself. Their debt could be impacted by this. Like if the U.S. debt is impacted, then it could cause $7 million and billions of dollars in the coming years of more debt to the U.S. just because they done dropped in their basis rating. So at the end of the day, I feel like the Democrats have more leverage, and I feel like it's just they're just dragging this whole thing out from a Republican standpoint. But who knows? Whatever it takes to reach a bipartisan agreement, I'm all here for it. But I don't have time for this.
I'm not really confident. I'm not confident in it, but I'll give you an update next week on how those talks are. Going. I think. Well, to that, I think with the Democrats, a lot of times those cuts that the Republicans want happen to be targeted at social programs.
Right.
So that's a no go area for them. I want to say like Biden even brought that to the table, like, hey, we can talk about because, but it can't be these things, and that went nowhere. So
yeah, it's kind of like you're gonna chop your foot off just to make another part of your body mad. You're gonna end up hurting yourself at the end of the day. So that's where I'm at with, and that's how I feel about the whole thing.
So y'all heard that? Let's do it. Do something,
Yeah, let's
people.
do something, Chad.
As you know,
Oh, Chad.
I wanted to make an announcement. We have a new presidential candidate in the race uh, for the presidential election. That's Republican, black man, South Carolina, Senator Tim Scott. On this past Monday, he formally entered the Republican presidential primary. And he stated as follows: he promises to take on the radical left and bring faith and conservative, business-friendly policies to the White House. He seeks to upend a contest that has been so far dominated by the coverage of President Trump and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who is expected to enter the fray in the coming days. The coming days being by the time you hear this episode.
Yeah, dude.
So Ron DeSantis plans to announce his presidential bid on Twitter with Elon Musk. So this is, I want to say it's a rumor that's been circulating, but all the major outlets have picked up this story. So it can still be a rumor, but it can also be very factual.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to happen on Wednesday. So if you're listening to this episode that was past Wednesday on Twitter Spaces, Musk said Tuesday, I think someone that is a representative of the moderate views that I think most of the country holds in reality as in regards to who he thinks should be the next president. However, he supports DeSantis, and DeSantis is anything but moderate. In the last 2 months, he has signed an extreme 6-week abortion ban, a slew of legislation cracking down on the LGBTQIA plus community, and civil rights in Florida, while overseeing a surge in book bans and fueling a fight with one of his state's most beloved and largest employers, which we have talked about all these things on the show, Disney. So, Elon, just kind of poking the screen, he's not a moderate.
Oh no!
And anyway,
it's not giving that.
Shape or form.
Yeah,
it's not giving that. Just the past 6 months alone, nothing he has done has been moderate. So, I just want to let you know by the time you hear this episode of the podcast or watch us, hey, how y'all doing? We may have Florida Governor Ron DeSantis in the race. And just an FYI, NAACP has issued an advisory of us traveling to Florida. So,
y'all pray for me. I'm going to Florida.
You're going to be in safe hands at Disney.
Yes, God will be all over me. But
absolutely, Orlando.
That check was already spent.
It is, and you're flying into Orlando. You're gonna be fine. Orlando is blue. I'm
gonna be at Disney.
So. You're gonna be at Disney and be your beautiful black and gay self.
Oh, and will, and if cut up need be, he will cut up. Okay, so you play with your mama, don't play with me.
Speaking of Florida, go ahead, Frank.
Child, and speaking of DeSantis,
DeSantis and bans,
right? And bans. Okay, according to I don't know who this is according to, but we're gonna get into that. Oh, this actually came from CNN. But Amanda Gorman, right? The poem that she gave for
poem laureate of the United States of America.
Yes, that she gave at Joe Biden's inauguration was moved from the elementary section of a Miami-Dade County public school after a parent complaint. In school review, the district confirmed on this past Tuesday. A parent of a student at Bob Graham Education Center, a kindergarten through 8th grade school in Miami Lakes, objected to Gorman's poem, The Hill We Climb, for which they erroneously listed...
which she gave at the inauguration of the President of the United States.
Seems very educational to me, right?
Of America.
Period. This America?
This one.
Right, but mind you, the parent erroneously made the claim about the hill we will climb. First of all, being authored and published by Oprah Winfrey, which is not the case. So that's how hilarious this claim is anyway, because you clearly didn't read the poem. if you didn't even read the author. But according to the documents that were obtained from the Florida Freedom to Read Project, the complaint states that the poem is not educational and has indirect hate messages, adding that the poem would cause confusion and indoctrinate students. The same parent also made similar complaints about Love to Langston, which is a poetry based biography of Black poet Langston Hughes, and as well as the ABCs of Black History and two other books about Cuba.
See, that just made me so angry.
You see
I'm
where we're
really
going with
trying.
this.
I have. Let me tell you that. Y'all know I'm in therapy. I have really been trying to like work on my mood. That just pissed me
Right, it
off.
pisses you off and break you right back down, doesn't it?
Yeah, that just makes me very upset because, for one, why does it not? Why I just can't fathom to understand.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. I don't have the understanding to know. It's kind of like common sense. All of these things that you're complaining about are black.
Hello.
There are a ton of white books in the library.
Hello.
Probably 95% of libraries. Probably 99. I want to
Yeah.
say it's probably safe to say like 99.
She up there.
Let's go 98. That's what we say. We're going 98.
Not a.
98% of libraries are full of materials that are written by white people.
The page is white.
The page is white. Straight white people at that.
Yeah.
So this 2% of things that may be for someone else other than your child, which it probably needs to be for your child as well, you find offense in.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's disrespectful to you. What about me? What about my kids?
Well, as far as Florida's concerned, you don't matter, friend. Your black gay life apparently doesn't matter.
I mean,
to Ron
take
DeSantis.
the gay out. Like, what about my black? What about my black life? My black life.
Yeah, that too.
What about that little brown boy and girl who wants to go and read about the poem laureate of the United States of America, who had the privilege, who beautifully delivered
oh my gosh,
this
amazing.
poem about that span from what this country has been through, what this country has meant for our people, for other people, and how we should really come together to create a more unified union. And it's like,
yeah, this is a beautiful
indoctrination.
Moment. Yeah, a beautiful moment.
I'm so tired of hearing that word.
Yeah,
add that to the ban list, the word indoctrination, and put it right under woke. I'm over it.
Oh, well, hello. So the materials review panel at the school did decline to remove the books from the school entirely, but they did decide to move the Gorman poem and two other disputed items to the library's middle school section, which is grades 6 through 8. Okay, the poem's removal is the latest consequence of the Florida law that Ladera just so beautifully talked about that requires the approval of books in classrooms and grants any parent the power to complain about any specific work. So any parent in Florida can go and say, "Hey, I don't believe that this is educational sound for my kids."
True. And when we say that your vote matters on all levels, it matters in the schools. It matters at the school boards. It matters at your child's individual
especially
school,
at these
where
levels.
you can decide yourself that you want to be on the school board, because the law can be the law, but at the end of the day, it's up to the school board to decide. Even if the reviews have to take place, the school board can decide that we heard your complaint, but we don't find these things to be true.
Right.
I mean, I get the we'll just move it to the middle school. No. What you say? What do we say?
Hell no. Oh.
A win is a win. Like, no, don't give them that win. We have to continue to fight tyranny where it stands. Yes. If it started there, it should have ended there. Your child don't have to check the book out. It was not being taught in class, even though it should, because it was something that was read at the inauguration. And one thing that we hear all day up and down grade school is stuff that happened in presidential inaugurations in the White House.
They played the inauguration in the classroom.
Exactly. So, like, why now that it's a black woman and the poem has some hard truths, it's an issue that just...
Be careful with these laws and things that are going on, friends. I guess y'all my friends.
Hey, friend. Hey, yeah, friend. Let's call them friends.
Yeah, y'all friends.
Y'all are not dubbed friends.
So, friends, like y'all have to be careful and be attentive about what laws are going on around you, especially at the state level, because they can have impacts and trickle into your education, just your overall lifestyle. Because once you erase somebody out of history, that beautiful moment being erased out of the history books and being taken out of the school system altogether, like things like that, erase your experience and erase who you are as a human being.
Right. And as you grow older, and I want to say this especially for younger kids, their canvases, very blank.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that they learn, the person that they turn out to be is shaped by what they
Preach,
learn and experiences.
preach,
You have taken away a moment for them to, for all, any child of
representation.
any race, to learn about what representation is, to learn that something beautiful can come from someone who does not look like them, or something beautiful can come from someone who does look like them. You start small. This poem was a
Mm-hmm.
great way. It's tied into American history forever because it happened at a freaking presidential inauguration. But it's a great way and a great segue to show how unified the country actually is.
Mm-hmm.
And most of these people think that America is so great. We show some of the greatness. That's literally all I'm asking for.
Was that poem not great? It was
It was
great.
great.
It was great.
It was
It
great.
deserves to be.
It was
represented.
probably one of the greatest things ever written, like the greatest poems ever written. It was just that good. Her delivery, impeccable.
Yes. Beautiful.
Impeccable poem.
The only part, honestly, I remember about the inauguration, if I'm being honest,
was that and Michelle Obama.
Oh, yeah.
That purple.
Coming in her interest, yes, ma'am. Love to see you, First Lady.
Love to see it. Yes. Those are the two things that I remember.
Yeah, for
that
sure.
And the outfit. I was like, ooh, now she done went and got it.
Mm-hmm.
I was just thinking, I was like, I bet she got up at 3 o'clock this morning and sitting up in that chair. Hair was laid. Do you hear me? Hair was laid. And that's her, and that's Michelle's hair.
Yes,
that's her hair. Shout out to forever First Lady.
Forever First Lady. Yeah,
Michelle Obama.
But forever First Lady Michelle Obama.
All right.
Any more political rundown?
No.
That's how you feel?
I'm run down. That's how I'm feeling. Run down.
He run down to the ground.
I'm gonna run down to the ground because America's got a problem.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Beyonce fans, y'all get it.
Y'all get it. Us. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. If you don't know, you need to do your research.
Do your research.
But let's get into these streets, friend. The streets are calling. Let's jump to it. So, let's jump right to this first topic, and I'm so sad to bring everyone this news. Oh my gosh. But Tina Turner, she dies at the age of 83. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe I'm reading this right now. So the news came out early today that the iconic singer Tina Turner has died, according to CNN, in a post on her verified Facebook account. Known as the Queen of Rock and Roll, Turner's mega hits include Proud Mary, What's Love Got to Do With It? Oh, that's one of my favorites. And Simply the Best. I had to sing it. I couldn't find it. The Facebook statement reads, "It is with great sadness that we announce the passing of Tina Turner. With her music and her boundless passion for life, she enchanted millions of fans around the world and inspired the stars of tomorrow. Today, we say goodbye to a dear friend who leaves us all her greatest work, her music. All our heartfelt compassions go out to her and her family. Tina, we will miss you dearly." Oh my gosh, Tina Turner. I am such a huge fan of Tina Turner.
Let me tell you, that River Deep, Mountain High, like that song,
Yes.
It's on my playlist. Like,
Tina Turner going to be playing all week.
Absolutely, but I listen to that regularly because it just lifts my spirit so much. Yes. But I have to say, because I've said this before, so it may be controversial to some. But I am finally, well, I'm not finally. She's lived a long life. She's 83 years old. And I believe in the afterlife, so I might get a little religious. And I am grateful and you just send in love her way that she is in eternal peace. Because she has had a hard life. Yeah. She's had a very hard life. We've seen it in the movie, which is how a lot of you all were introduced to her, was love got to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have not watched, Tina doesn't do a lot of interviews anymore. She stopped doing them. But she did a documentary. I want to say it was in like partnership with Oprah and HBO Max. It's on HBO. I think it's called Max now, so it's on Max.
I changed the name,
Formerly
Jay? Okay.
today, literally just today. It's on Max, formerly HBO Max. And it was like her last thing. Like she's in it. They're interviewing her, so it's not like a view of her life. It's actually her and
Mm-hmm.
her stories. And she talks about how hard her life was, and how hard of a time that she had. And she talks about her accomplishments as well. And I just feel like, and it just came out a few years ago. I might actually have to go back and rewatch, but it's a beautiful testament to her and praying for her family.
Yes,
I know a lot of
definitely.
the things that happened to her kind of, I want to say she spoke on in the documentary, like preventing her from having like the best relationships because she had been through so much trauma.
Mm-hmm.
But she's
Mm.
worth a lot of money now, and money don't erase pain, does not erase how you react in the world. But
Mm-hmm.
she's lived a great life. Oh nope, I don't even feel comfortable saying that she's lived a great life. She has lived a
She's had a successful
She's
life.
had a successful life despite
Mm-hmm.
very traumatic
Humble beginnings and
circumstances,
yeah,
and
yeah.
she has been a huge influence to
The
the world.
greats. Yeah.
The world.
Yeah, the world in general, yeah. So shout out
So
to
shout
Queen
out
Tina Turner and may
to the
you rest in
forever
peace.
Queen Tina Turner. May you rest in eternal peace.
Yes.
May the love that you receive up there, over there, wherever the other side is,
Mm-hmm.
may have no bounds. So,
I love it. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well said, friend. All right, so let's get into some more sad news for me at least.
me too.
I know LeBron James contemplating NBA retirement. So, following the loss in a four-game NBA Western Conference Final sweep to the Denver Nuggets, LeBron had this to say. He says, "I've got a lot to think about. Just for me personally, going forward with the game of basketball, I have a lot to think about." So, a lot of people are speculating that he's actually talking about and considering retirement. And before the night actually ended,
I agree with the people.
yeah, unfortunately, Bleacher Reports, Chris Haynes reported that the King was considering retirement as well. He made a post saying, "Breaking: Los Angeles Lakers star LeBron James is unsure if he would be with the team when 2023-2024 season starts in fall, and retirement is under consideration," league sources tell Bleacher Report. So that's the news that's out there. So is this simply just LeBron in his feeling the sting of the four-game sweep loss, or is he? Do you think he's really possibly contemplating ending his NBA career?
I think he's very much contemplating it. And if I was in his situation, I would too, to be honest. So
Yeah.
I
I
would
mean,
too.
he's 38 years of age. And one thing I can say about LeBron and just great champions altogether, they want to go out on top and they want to to finish what they started. And he's a phenomenal basketball player, one of the greatest of all time.
Phenomenal.
So I just don't. I don't think we're here. I don't think we're at the retirement for LeBron. I don't think he's actually checked out. He might only have one more
I
year.
don't think that he should retire, but
Because I mean, he still has the
his
physical capabilities.
absolutely, but his feelings are very valid uh, feelings. Imagine you being LeBron at 40 is still like peak condition, like for basketball. I mean,
Yeah, for
let's
sure.
be very clear about that. So imagine feeling that you have to carry like the team every time you play, and this has been in every city that he's played in, which is why he usually, which is why he's probably like bounced around. The feeling
Hmm.
that he is, there's no other player like putting up who can put up 40 points like every night, every
Yeah.
time they get on the court. 30, not even 30, not even 20, and he like consistently like shows up to put up 40 points, and this team is still losing. It's kind of hard to like find people on that same level. I feel like on the same level as you to do great things with.
Yeah, for sure. I get what you're saying. I understand. But to go out on a sweep in the Western Conference Finals, I just know, like, just as somebody who's just competitive, you don't want to go out like that. You don't want to end your career that
You
way.
know, but it don't take away from the standard of you.
It
Like
never will
Serena
because
didn't win her last thing, but
Oh, but Mama, she put
Right.
in work.
But she put in. I mean, and LeBron, he put in work in the last
And I think
game.
she'll be back. Wise as Kev. I know you got to drop that baby girl, but I'm on your ass, Serena. Come back to
I thought she was
anyway.
gonna come back. I don't know if she's gonna come. I don't want
She
her to
may-
come
she
back in
won't.
singles. I want her to come back
Dubs, her and
doubles.
Venus. Oh my gosh, I would live.
It could really be her or anyone. I feel like she would just so she can upset the game, like
Yeah,
because she's going to do just that,
right, and cause a stir.
just so she can cause a stir and knock some people out who we think should. Like I just want to see that happen, and it's going to happen.
Yeah, and honestly, I just want to see LeBron back, regardless.
I want
to
see him back too.
Bow, like I want him to go for another ring. I feel like he's there. He can get it. He just needs one more piece. They have some nice pieces there on the Lakers team.
They do.
I love Austin Reeves. I love Anthony Davis. I just feel like they just need a.
Who was the last team they played? The Grizzlies, right?
The last team they played. Oh, Denver.
I mean, no, not Denver. Like the last
Golden State.
Round, Golden State. Yeah, I just feel like they're tired.
To beat Golden State. Yeah,
that's there. Yeah. I feel like it took a lot of energy out of them,
sure.
like in general. I feel like even playing us, the Grizzlies, the round before that was hard. Like,
and it was emotional too.
It was emotional. Beating the Grizzlies was I did watch the Grizzlies portion of the series. Hello, we were in Memphis, but it was a very physical game. So I can only imagine going from that to Steph and Golden State to now playing the Nuggets. Like, it gets hard, especially if you feel like you're carrying the whole team. So I hope he comes back. His son is close. I want to see them play together.
Definitely want him to hold out. We want to see you with Bronny. Okay, just hold out.
I feel like performance wise, he has been in every playoffs like forever. He can probably go
10 finals. Come on now.
He can probably go like
4 rings.
He can go like 5 more years. In one of them years, he's guaranteed to win.
Right.
Guaranteed.
Right, and of course he has a lot of different projects and stuff that he handles off of the court and a lot of things he's involved in. So I know it's a lot. And it has to be taxing on the mind.
I can't wait to get to that point in my life.
But with retirement,
no, I have so many projects, and I
friend, you're there. You have
no, but I can't afford to hire anybody though. So he's at that point.
Coming.
He's at that point where he probably got a person for this, for this. I want that for us.
You still gonna have your hands on it, but I digress.
I will, but it's different to have
your spirit
hands on it and be on the man's clock.
Yeah, that's true.
Then it be like this.
Right.
On the yacht. On the yacht.
But we're going to wrap it up. LeBron, stay with us long as if you can.
Please, LeBron,
you have
please.
fans out here. We're rooting for you.
We're rooting for you.
So moving on to this next thing. Let's talk about
rooting for you.
Halle Bailey. I'm sorry, y'all. It's the wine. Love you down, Halle. Halle Bailey and Fantasia Barrino star in the first trailer for the new The Color Purple movie. I am so here for this. Did you see the clip?
I watched the whole trailer. Probably, I'm out of the millions of views. I'm 10 of them.
You 10 of them.
Every time I think about it, let me go rewatch this. Every time I think about it, that looked amazing.
It looked great,
and I'm glad that it is a retelling, like not like a remake. So it's this director's point of view of the wonderful book. I've read the book. Did you read the book?
Yeah.
That's how I was like, we read. I was like, wait, I don't know if he did.
I had to.
We were in the summer program, and it was our book to read. So if you've ever read
the actual, to see the play,
and we saw the Broadway play, and I want to say Danielle Brooks was was Fantasia in the play?
Fantasia was during the play around that time, but she wasn't.
She wasn't there, but
when we went,
was Danielle Brooks in the play when we went?
I'm not sure.
Somebody famous now was in the play, and I want to say it was Danielle. But anywho,
yes,
I just want to say, oh wait, what was I saying? If you've read Alice Walker's The Color Purple book, it is so amazing, so rich. It's so different from the actual film, The Color Purple. Both are great, but you read the book, I'm here for a different interpretation of the book because all the things, of course, that were in the book were not in the movie. And the movie was so long, so I'm eager.
Yes, and then this movie also marks the American Idol winner Barrino's major motion picture debut. I'm so here for this on your behalf, Fantasia. I'm a huge Fantasia stan.
I love Fantasia
for this moment. She's a great actress. She came out in her own biopic and did a phenomenal job.
I saw it. My mom would probably cry if she knew.
Oh, I'm right
I
there with
mean,
you.
well, yeah, we
I'm
all
right there
right
with
with
you, Mom. I'm crying too. But Marino
that.
stars as Celie, a character she played in the original Broadway show in 2007, which the reboot is a cinematic rendering of. So the main cast includes, of course, Halle Bailey, Fantasia Barrino, and Taraji P. Henson. We have appearances from her, Coleman Domingo, Felicia Pearl, I don't know how you say it, Mapasi. I'm sorry. I just butchered your name, good. Corey Hawkins and Danielle Brooks.
And
So
Sierra.
and Sierra, this is gonna be. I think it's gonna be
And
an
I want to say,
amazing.
what's that man's name who played in Blackish? I just watched an interview with him today on the Breakfast Club. He do Old Spice. Is he in that movie?
Well, I don't know his name. I see his face, but I'm gonna do the whistle.
I think he's
I don't
in
know.
it.
Did I see him in the trailer?
He's not. He might not be in the trailer, but he has a
Okay,
small role in the movie.
love it. I'm
That's
here
what.
for it.
Well, I literally watched an interview with him. That's why I'm saying it. He's on
Yes.
Breakfast Club.
And so the color purple will actually be moved there just on Christmas Day in 2023, and it's actually being produced by Oprah Winfrey herself.
Okay, when I tell you
I live.
everybody should be at the movie theater. Let me tell you this.
Pack
When I
it the
tell
fuck
you
out.
every black person, Christmas dinner gonna be in a crock pot because we're gonna be at the movies.
Hello.
Grandma, put them greens.
We done had Thanksgiving already. Anyway.
Already, we don't need it again.
Keep it. Okay.
At this
Pop
point,
me.
Christmas dinner is 2 hot dogs and a popcorn, baby.
That part. And let's head to the movie theater. Get your tickets.
Get your tickets. And I know for a fact that I'm buying mine early.
You have to.
For the simple fact that I know black people, for one, I ain't trying to talk about us.
About it.
We don't do things early. We do it right on time.
We do.
So my shit's gonna be early, so I can make sure me and my little family we gonna be in there.
If it's the one thing I'm gonna get early, I'm gonna get a movie ticket early.
Let me tell you, every Marvel ticket. Me and Courtney Warner. Hey Courtney,
Hey Courtney.
I'm a release date. Tickets on pre-sale.
You're already on top of it.
Tickets bought, seats picked out.
Yes.
And this will be the same.
Yeah.
The same for the mermaid. Hey.
Speaking of Little Mermaid and Halle Bailey, so she is killing this 2023 so far. Like, in Little Mermaid hasn't even come out yet. So, Little Mermaid premieres on May the 26th in the U.S. theater. So, by the time you guys are seeing this, it'll be out. Go and support this Black Disney princess, as she'll be playing the role as Ariel. Yeah, you take your daughters, take your sons to the movie theater, and just support this Black princess, y'all.
I'm gonna go. I'm going on Memorial. I'm going on Memorial Day.
Yes. Oh, her voice. Have you heard the soundtracks and stuff?
I've heard.
Mama,
beautiful.
Sing down. Okay.
I'm gonna take my sister to see it on Memorial Day. I'm gonna go.
Yeah. So y'all pack it out and
It's gonna have to be a secret because
support.
my mama might have to work and she's gonna be mad if we go without her. But
well, she know now that what's going down. So you could have planned around this, but okay.
Yeah, man. Look, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
He think he grown now. He smelled himself, mama. All right, so let's get into this next topic. Lil Wop, the rapper. Are you familiar with Lil Wop?
I'm not familiar with Lil Wop, but I saw the pictures.
Yeah. Okay, same. We're in the same boat. So Lil Wop, he reveals he has started his gender transition. So the 27-year-old has revealed he's in the process of transitioning to become a transgender woman. On May the 19th, the Chicago-born, Atlanta-based rapper announced on his Instagram account that he's transitioning from a man to a woman. He captioned it as "in the transition into becoming a full transgender," as well as an image of himself wearing a red lingerie. Mama's out there serving. I don't know his pronouns, so forgive me if I'm using the incorrect pronouns.
I don't want to misgender you.
Yes, I don't want to misgender. It's unclear if WAP plans to change his name, and he didn't provide, like I said, any of his pronouns. But on the music front, Lil WAP, just for those of you who aren't familiar with him, because I know I have to do my research myself, his last self-release project was his October of 2022 mixtape called Halloween. Mm-hmm. And prior to that, he was signed to Gucci Mane's 1017 Eskimos label. But in March of 2022, WAP announced that he has left Gucci Mane's label and he left on his own accord. So I think they left on some pretty bad terms or whatever. But we're here for you, in your transition and transitions to a transgender woman. It's a difficult world and it's a tough world out there. A lot of people don't accept transitions as they should. I myself in my personal life, I'm dealing with some, um, people in my life that have these conflicting feelings about transgender women and men. So of course, always navigating that sector, but it's always important to be yourself and be who you are. Live your life for you, and don't live your life for anyone else because no one else matters. You only get one life to live, right?
Truth, friend. Truth.
So,
And for those of you all who don't agree, it's really very simple.
that's what it is. Yeah, fuck
Oh,
you
I
and fuck your opinion.
I wasn't giving
No,
that. I wasn't
I'm
giving
giving
that.
it.
I was.
I'm giving it. Fuck
I
you
was
and your
just
opinion.
going to say,
Okay.
everyone deserves the right to live.
Yeah.
Everyone deserves the right to be respected. I'm not a respect is iron type of person. That is BS for people to be rude.
Yeah.
But everyone deserves the right to live. Everyone deserves the right to respect it. So regardless of whether you agree with it, that is a human who was put on this planet
Just like you
just
were.
like you were. You want to respect everybody, and it's really very it's a simple concept that I know a lot of us do not grasp, but you kind of need to grasp that.
Right. Take your own personal out of it and just mind your own
And mind your business. Respect it
and respect
and move on.
and just move on. Period.
Period.
We'll see. Well, I'll leave it at that. We'll
It's
leave it at that.
I'll leave it on that simple. That simple.
Yeah, I'll leave it on that too because I'll make this thing
Yes, thank you,
long-winded and I've been turned up.
Right. Yes.
So
leave it.
leave her alone. Okay, let's get into
some positive news. I wanted to just give a shout out to Shantae Wayans. She is a member of the great legacy of what is the Wayans family.
Yes. Hilarious family,
race.
by the way. I want to go to one of their holidays.
I would love to go to
Thanksgiving with the Wayans has to be hilarious.
It has to be so funny. But I saw on social media this past weekend that she got married. That some of her family was in attendance, so I just want to give a shout out to her. Check out some of her stand up. She's hilarious as well. So I just want to give a shout out. I just felt like that was just great.
Yeah, I love it.
Right, because I feel like I just watched a stand up special and she was in it. So I'm gonna give a shout out.
It's so beautiful to see all these black unions coming.
Yes,
I love to see it. I love to see it. So.
Love to see it. Good. Kudos for y'all.
Right, keep it positive, y'all.
Right, and I just want to end with another shout out to all of the students who graduated in Boston University. What year is it? 2023.
Right.
Spring commencement. Thank you for doing your due diligence. So Boston University students booed Warner Brothers Discovery chief David Zaslav as he was awarded an honorary PhD and delivered the commencement speech.
Tell us how you really feel.
They told him how they really felt during his speech. And during his award, the crowd could be heard chanting very loudly, "Pay your writers." If you all are not aware, the Hollywood writer strike is still going on, and they want to be paid, and they deserve to be paid. The landscape is changing in this country for so many industries.
Oh yeah,
entertainment is no different. And come close. Hey, the pay should change as well, and that's across all industries.
That's the only thing that hasn't changed.
That's the only thing that has not changed. I literally said this to Jay the other day. I was like, a certain food business don't have that 1, 2, 3. Like nothing is $1, nothing is $2, nothing is $3.
Oh, no. They really don't
at all. I said inflation is going up, but my paycheck is not going up. Like everything is changing, but how much money is?
Hello, this girl's want to act like you asking for too much when you tell them you're not paying.
Do y'all know the federal minimum wage? The federal minimum wage is still $7.25.
It was $7.25. What 10 years ago?
When we were working high school jobs.
Lord have mercy! I didn't even know that.
But one thing that has not changed, I can't buy 99. I ain't even gonna. I don't want to be sued, but I can't buy a 99-cent double cheeseburger.
You can't, or a bag of chips for that matter.
I can't buy $4 chips. I can't buy $4 snack cakes. Hello.
So y'all been playing in our face for real.
No, they are making people think that it's a problem for asking for what is needed, like what is
Mm-hmm.
required, what is expected,
Ooh.
and people buy into it, and that's the crazy part.
Yeah. Some people just don't know their actual worth, honestly. But
True. No, it is that, and then some people are so afraid of everyone else getting their work as well. hmm That's a problem for them.
well,
Watch out for those people.
yeah, it's a hot mess. Pay these writers.
Hot.
Pay
Pay them.
CEOs. Y'all make way too much money. First of all, and we all know this. For the little amount of work that y'all don't do nothing. Pay the laborers, the people that are keeping you afloat. Okay, stop
Pay
playing in our
them.
face.
We talked about
It's really
this
simple.
on an episode or two ago. I want to say like 2 episodes back. We talked about the writer strike, how it affects the writers, how the writing rooms
Mm-hmm.
have gotten smaller. They're called micro rooms now, and not only smaller, but the time that they're employed has gotten shorter due to streaming services.
Right.
We're binge watching everything at one time. They're no longer getting the residual money that they would get when we had strictly network television.
Mm-hmm.
So their salary has literally like been cut like 75% if they can get a job because the rooms are so small. So when
And
people
then
do
the
the
salary
work,
was never even enough.
it was
Even
never
when there was
enough.
blockbuster films coming
It was
out,
it,
it
it's
wasn't.
never been enough.
They've always been having this complaint. So it's
So
like y'all are really playing.
you're asking them to cut a penny and a half, and it's just simply not fair.
Yeah, that's a very nice way to put it. Y'all got them out here cutting pennies. Meanwhile, you got have people like what's his name? Let me get him
David.
right. David. You out here and you living
And
large,
then
taking
they
charge.
won't. The reason we're in the right, one of the other reasons we're in the writing trade, they wouldn't take AI off the table.
Right. Another huge problem that's
Another huge
affecting a
problem
whole
because you're
lot of
going to take
sectors
their
of America.
jobs. You're going to take their jobs.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't think AI is not there to a point where I feel like it can convey human emotion in a way that a real human can write it. But
Right.
that I will say, as we gear up towards primaries versus Republican and Democrat, I will say that is one thing that I want out of all of these conversations is what is the country going to do about artificial intelligence? Because it's going to come, regardless of if we want it to come. It's going
She's
to
here.
right. She's going to take over jobs, regardless if that
She's
is what we
starting.
want. It's a technology that grows and it can be implemented in different places.
Mm-hmm.
As a country, we kind of need to figure out, for one, like what quality of life can we provide for people? How can we shift our job market to kind of grow with the AI despite crashing beneath it?
Mm-hmm.
Because truly, as a society, you want your society to elevate
Right.
to a point where nobody is working, like or to a point where everybody is granted that same liberty.
I'm
Like
with that.
right,
That's the idea, of course.
you would want the society to elevate. So I'm kind of curious to, and there are very few federal laws surrounding it because I don't, and it has been on the table in the past before, but I don't think that they thought it was going to be a big issue. Why? But anywho,
Well,
friend, anything else on the street?
nothing else on the streets. Yeah, I think we're done with the streets. We talked a great little bit, so I'll let the people have it. Tune in next week to get into the streets and more news that
Oh no!
what you got.
Bring it back. I'm stepping back off.
Here he
I'm stepping
go.
back into the
He
street.
off the curve. He back in
I'm
the streets.
stepping back into the street. I done saw pictures of Jonathan Majors.
Oh, you saw pictures of
You
what?
didn't?
No, Chad, I told you.
Jonathan Majors. We talked. You talked to us last week about Jonathan Majors and our good sis Megan Good about how the
Uh-huh.
rumors were out there were dating. They've been spotted together.
Oh yeah.
They have been spotted together.
I haven't seen the pictures though. I've seen the headlines and they were spotted together.
No,
What is
their
it giving?
pictures. It's given. They're headed. The pictures with them headed like in the airport together, getting on the plane. So they're going somewhere.
Mm.
They're
It's still
going
giving very
somewhere.
much PR for me. Ain't nobody just popped
They
up
are
and
going
caught
somewhere.
y'all.
All I can say is, Megan, please be careful.
Please be safe. And we're not talking
We
about the
love
plane.
you. We're not talking about the
I want you to be
plane.
safe there too.
We just
But
want you to be safe. As far as Jonathan, I hope that all the alleged
allegations, yeah.
allegations right now are not true.
Yes.
But I have to side with the women.
And
it's not
common
because I just have
sense.
to. Like common sense, like come on, I've seen the text messages. Did not do you an injustice.
Right.
And we don't condone.
And they came from your camp, your attorney. So I mean, we
and I
just
hope
going
they're
on
no
what
longer your attorney because that was like,
child.
oh no, so he did it. But anywho, best of luck, Megan, girl.
Well, this was just I really was so bad that this would have happened before all of this. But I guess anyway.
I mean,
it is what it is. A person, if that's a character flaw is a character flaw, and that was what it was.
I do believe that people have the opportunity to grow. So I'm not saying that he can grow from this situation, but justice needs to be served if he committed some wrongdoings. Justice needs to be served.
Yeah.
And Megan, girl, stay out of it until justice is served, girl.
Please.
Yeah. All right, okay.
You off the curb.
I'm off.
I mean, you out the streets on
the curb. I thought that
was
so controversial. I have to. Somebody gonna run me over with that car, child.
Oh, child. Yeah, you better step up here quick. It might be Jonathan Majors.
Oh,
he might be running down. He's sick of the smoke. I'm still upset about that.
That pissed me
off. I was rooting for you, Jonathan.
Anyway. I was rooting because he has really just like single-handedly ruined the next phase of like Marvel movies, and that was probably very important. And then I wanted another.
I didn't even think about it from their perspective.
Exactly. And then I wanted another season of Lovecraft Country. Some way, somehow, somewhere. I was just hoping that it would get picked up somewhere. Yeah. Like all these Emmy nominations, HBO Max canceled. Yeah. Off the curb.
Back into our business.
Back into our business.
Minding our own.
Okay, so let's reach down into our bag and pull out something else to talk about.
Yeah, pull something useful out. What you got, friend? What's down in there?
No, I feel like we just kind of like released an episode, so this is gonna be a shorter one, which I love. But I wanted to talk about the importance of checking on your people. It's still Mental Health Awareness Month, and I wanted to close it out with.
Hence why we're wearing green, you guys.
Hence, I have on green pants if you just cannot tell.
These pants, yeah.
Oh, and my shirt says "Good things take time."
And the back says "Good vibes," right?
No, the back says "Good things take time," but it's large. It's large, so people behind me just get a positive message while I'm walking.
I love that idea too. I seen this girl; she was actually making hoodies with positive message, like telling people that they're beautiful. If you're reading this from behind, I love something like this.
Yes, and if you have a line and you're doing that, hello. We're aware.
Right, we're aware.
If it's dope and it looks good, we're promoted. Like, no
good
charge.
Quality. No charge.
Yeah, we just like good stuff, and we dress,
especially to support our Black
business
communities and businesses.
But we'll take it all.
We'll take it all.
We're children of the world. But I wanted to talk about the importance of checking up on people because of some things that have been happening in my own family. So I hope y'all are listening. That kind of teed me off, and I just kind of realized that I needed to do my due diligence of doing more checkups.
Not teed you off.
It did. My grandma doesn't listen. But I wanted to say a situation happened.
Not too much for you.
I know. Earlier this year. Well, I want to be transparent.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to be transparent. A situation happened earlier this year where a member of my family passed away. Tragic. Families span multiple generations. This family member was not on like my generation level. I try, and we'll talk more about this, but I try to kind of keep tabs or kind of keep in contact or kind of do like random check-ins on people who are on my generation. And what I mean by my generation, you go to family event, you kind of hang with the people, your cousins, y'all all around the same age. Y'all all been in it. If you're in a Black or a color person of color, children go to that back room. Y'all all kind of been in that back room. You kind of had these growing experiences together. So I try to keep up with them. This person was not on my generation level, but we didn't find out. We found out about their death, and we found out that they had been sick for months, and no one knew. And it made me kind of. Well, I had to start using the word angry. It saddened me a lot
Mm-hmm.
because regardless if there was nothing that we can do, we can always be there to support.
Yeah.
We're praying, we're Christian. Like we can always be there to pray. We can always be there to comfort, like in a time of need. Family. I've been in a situation where somebody has died and I've known, like you can always be there to kind of ease the transition. So that kind of disheartened me. So that's why I was like, and it's mental health month. Like for you to like be in a situation where you feel like, or where people are not doing check-ins, or you feel like you can't share. So I just wanted to get
Yeah.
into this
Yeah, before
topic.
you get in, friend, I'm sorry to hear about your loss too.
Oh well,
And I know you
yeah.
want to. It angers you, and you want to beat up on yourself. Um,
Oh no, I don't want to beat up on myself.
you want to beat up on somebody. Oh, child, you're like, I'm ready to get somebody else to beat.
I don't want to beat up on myself. I just
Yeah.
think there are certain situations where they can either there can be a reckoning. There can be a reckoning behind the situation, or you can be awakened by it. And this is just one that awakened uh, me. You know, like it wasn't a member of my immediate family, but it was still family, and I kind of felt the way that nobody
Right.
was like privy to this information. Nobody had been checking in, and it could have been a friend. It could
Right.
be anything. So
That's true.
let's talk about these relationships. So we'll talk about the importance of checking in. I have a few questions, a few discussion topics, and then we can give you some tips for how to check in. I feel like a lot of people just don't know how to reach out
Mm-hmm.
for help. I mean, not only for help, but how to reach out and check in on someone. People just
Yeah.
feel uncomfortable doing it if your relationship is not what you envision all your relationships to be. It's kind of hard to do that. So let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Right.
Give the people some tips, friend.
Well, but before we get into that, I wanted to ask you.
Oh Lord.
He said, "Oh Lord,
Oh Lord. What you got?
do you check in
Do I check in on my family and friends?
on your family?"
Yes. I'm like now that part I don't have a problem with. I feel like I'm very emotionally intelligent and I'm kind of like the go-to person within my
Mm-hmm.
family. So like I always try to check in, especially if I know that you're dealing with something, even if you haven't expressed certain feelings of being saddened or hardened by a certain situation that you're dealing with. I just try to think about um, how it can affect that person emotionally. Like if you lose a job, gain a job, uh, you lose someone, or you're dealing with whatever the situation may be. I try to think from that person's perspective and just try to have empathy. And I'll extend an olive branch, or just reach out to that person to check on them.
And I know that it's like it's so much easier to do that with your immediate family,
Yeah,
the people that are in your house, the people that you talk to on the phone, your siblings, your parents, maybe a few aunts and uncles if your parents have a really good relationship with them. But I feel like it's the should have had her word. The wine got me loose as a goose.
it's just a Chardonnay chat. That'll loosen you up.
Your external family, like maybe not your first cousin, but your second cousin. Maybe not your aunt, but
Oh,
your
see, now I'm horrible at that.
your grandma's sister, or your
Yeah, see, I'm horrible at that. Like I'm
it's
like you. I'm like
definitely.
a generational type. Like so, my cousins that I grew up with, get out of grown folks' business. If you was in that group with me,
And see
I'm
that
keeping up with you and I'm
exactly.
checking in on you.
But see the situation that I described, like they were on that level,
Hmm.
like not my mom's siblings or their children or my cousins, like the people that I tried to keep tabs. But it
Hmm.
was just a disconnect up top somewhere, and I'm just like, okay, as a family, like as a structure, it's not something that we can. This is something that has to be like immediately fixed.
Yeah.
Bare minimum, we should kind of like have not tabs. Of course, don't keep tabs if this person is bringing, if you've experienced traumatic, um, if your interaction with this person has been traumatic to you, no obligations to do that. Uh, but just out of general, I guess like understanding and kind of upkeep, just a hey. Well, when I say a hey and a true how you doing, because we say how you doing, but we don't really expect for you to tell me,
Yeah, 'cause it's
like
so
tell you
common. Everybody
it's a
always says,
comment. But like, how are you feeling? Like, what's been up? I had wrote down a few questions like how do you choose and I want to know this like well you've already kind of answered this. How do you choose who you check in on? Because this person was just never on my list of people who I kind of making my business. But let me just text this person and see how they're doing.
you didn't think that they would need a check in type.
I didn't think that, and I thought other people would
We're
be doing
doing it.
it,
Hmm.
and that the information, you in a family, that the information would just kind of, spread to me. But when it spread, it was just not the news that I was wanting like to hear or see on Facebook because I just was like, wait,
Mm. There's another
right,
discussion.
like the West Wing is on fire. Like we need to kind of put that out. Well, I guess so. I guess we just kind of answered it. How do you choose? Like
Yeah,
for both of us, it's always been a span of the generation. You know, the immediate family,
the people you're closest
the
to.
people you're close to, the cousins, the who's here at the house for opening gifts, kind of
And
thing.
holiday types thing, yeah. Who I see all the time.
And I wanted to talk a little bit about this because I felt like this was something that may have impacted my family. And it's not something like that we openly talk about, but what are your limitations for checking in on people? Like, what are your
Like how far would I pry before, or how many times would I reach out before I just say, hey, you don't want to be bothered.
that,
Mhm.
but also what keeps you from reaching out?
Um, I guess the only thing that could honestly keep me from reaching out to somebody is positively feeling like they're not ready to receive it, because
Mm-hmm.
you have to be at a certain emotional intelligence to be able to receive um just somebody that actually genuinely cares about you, trying to check on your mental state, right? Everybody doesn't want to talk about because, to be honest, in the black community, is mental health and all that. It's like last fiddle. It's like something that people don't discuss. They don't want to go to counselors or seek therapy and things of that nature. It's almost shunned in a way, in a sense, just brought up, bringing up in culture. So you have to be very careful to only reach out to people when you know they're ready to receive. What?
Culturally, I think that is a defense mechanism of black people.
Yeah.
Like, but
And then at the same point, you also want to, you don't want to not push, because you don't want your to get to that space to where possibly your loved one is dealing with something all on their own, and they feeling that they're weighting their burden. They can have somebody just lift it up just by them sharing, but somebody has to be willing to share those things with you as well. So you can kind of like gauge that just based on trying to attempt to reach out to them, however you do so, and based on the reaction that you give. If somebody's giving you like they don't really want to indulge, or they don't want to talk about certain situations, then it's kind of like maybe I would ease up a little bit in that
mm.
sector, but I don't want to say give up, because
and
it may take a
and
minute for people to come around.
and I agree with that. You said something. I want to table it because I still want to talk about more limitations,
Mhm.
and I want to make it very generalized to the community about some limitations that may be holding people back from like generally checking on the welfare of others, which is like the I think some people lock up at the fact that someone may actually need them. Like some people have a fear of reaching out due to them thinking that the person may need something
In
from them
return,
in
yeah.
return. Like may need help, may need assistance, whether it be financial, whether it be
Because, people always
emotion.
say, after somebody passes somebody, they're like, oh, let me know if you need anything. I'm here for you. But then it's like when they actually follow up on it, or they are needing, and you're like, the fear of possibly not being able to assist or help with whatever that is.
And I feel like that, but I feel like that even that is a 240 coin. I don't know if it's just like is that well, the fear of having to make true on the action, like let me know if you need anything, but also the not wanting to, like wanting to protect yourself, like
Yeah,
immediately like
yeah, that's true.
shutting the gates. This for me and mine.
Right.
We are me and mine.
Like, oh, girl, don't drag me down with you because my mental is already where it's at. I need to protect myself.
Mine. But see that. But then I'm glad you said that. So let's segue into that. That can also be limiting when you don't necessarily have the mental capacity to inquire about the needs of someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Can also be a limitation. I think that's a limitation that a lot of us struggle with. And I would say for our generation, that's probably one of the biggest.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I feel like everybody in the world has anxiety and dealing with depression or dealing with ADHD, may even be PT, SD, mania. Yeah, I don't think that speaks anything of us. I just think that speaks poorly of the world.
Right. Yeah.
But I think for us in our generation, that may be like a limitation that we may have to kind of create some workarounds, safe spaces for. I wanted to give you all some tips on how to
Come on, tips.
perform check-ins. Immediately, I want to say this because this is not written down. You talked, what did you say about?
Don't ask me, Chad.
I know.
Rewind.
Oh, and you said not like
What I
being not
say?
in a space to give. Like if somebody needs to be given something, like not in a
Oh
space
yeah.
to give. A check-in can truly be love. A declaration of love to me
And a
is an
listening ear.
appropriate check-in. I feel like even like listening ear not attached. Like just to say, hey girl, was thinking about you,
Right.
love you. I feel like that is a check-in.
It is though, because that's enough. Sometimes you need the reminder too, though, like to know that
Exactly.
somebody's out there cares about me. Somebody out there, even though it sounds so, you would think your loved one automatically know that they matter and that you love them dearly, and without them in this world, you would be in shambles. But it's nice to get the reminder because sometimes the weight of the world can be on you and bog you down so much that the devil will play tricks on you and have you feeling like you aren't loved or feeling like you don't have the support when you have so much support in your corner. So I think you make a great point.
And you did too, friend. So to that we say, if you don't have the capacity to necessarily be a listening ear or a helping hand, be the reminder.
Come on, reminder.
Just be the reminder. We all like to see those good messages that lift your spirits. You get your text
Yes.
every morning from your group chat. You could be the same way.
And I live for our group chat.
I live
I
for our
live
group
it.
chat. You could be the same way for your second cousin, or
Yes.
your great aunt, or your third cousin, or the second remove, whatever. But we can be that. But formal tips: approach the conversation with empathy and understanding. You always start any conversation with kind of laying the foundation that this is like this is judgment free zone, and that you can listen and you can support. A lot of times, people really just need advice,
That part.
solid advice. But I will
Let me get it
say,
off my chest.
right. But I will say, um, your advice should always be loose. It should be loose. It should never be this is what you have to do, but this is something that you can do.
Absolutely.
I feel like the
I love
have
that.
to, and I'm saying that from like personal opinion. Like I do genuinely just do not like when people tell me that I have to do something.
This is what you need to do. You need to do this.
Don't
No,
like it.
no, man.
Don't tell me what to do.
Because now
On
I'm
any
definitely
front.
not finna.
'Cause
Just to prove you wrong,
I'm not gonna do it.
Right, because you tell me I need to do
I'm
it.
not gonna do it.
I bet you I don't.
I'm not listening. My mood has shifted. But when you say, "Hey, well, here's a suggestion.
Options. Right.
Here's some options. Maybe you can try this." This type of language invites them into the conversation of their own healing from whatever it may be.
Right, to allow them to choose.
And to allow them to choose.
Choose what advice I take. Not just every advice or feel like it's being put on me as a burden.
Exactly. It's like a brainstorming statement. It's an invitation for them to brainstorm with you or without you, but it's still an invitation versus a declaration of this is what you must do. So when we're doing our check-ins, let's start the conversation with that. Let's not be judgmental. And even if we feel like there's a few areas, of course, where you may need to be, hey,
get your shit together.
Right. If it's threatening their safety, their life, like them actually being on this planet, then hey, you say what you need to say. But if it ain't that,
still don't be judgmental though.
Still,
you can still be firm and not judgmental.
Absolutely. But if it's not that, don't do that. Like just be there.
Yeah.
And a lot of times there's there. I kind of and I hate to say this, but I feel like in a lot of families, not just black families, but a lot of families, there's always that one person who kind of feels like the sheep. Like they don't get the check-ons.
Oh my gosh.
Is that you?
No, I'm not the person that feels like I don't get checked on. Well, I don't, but you said sheep, and it made me think about a family.
The black sheep.
That feels like a black sheep.
Right. There's always that one person who does.
They may need a little bit more attention because.
And they may need a little bit more
caring.
But I want you, and I'm saying it to say, I want you to pay attention to your actions. A lot of time we're acting unconsciously, and we don't realize that within our family we are closing our gates.
Yes, you would have said a word. I'm sorry. Yes, you said a word. You're speaking to the black sheep that I was thinking about. Oh my gosh. It's like, love you down. I want to be here. I want to support you, but I feel like you're shutting me out, and you're kind of closing that gate to where I can't be there to bring you in the fold and to keep you looped in with the family and to keep you motivated within whatever your personal life is going on. Like, don't shut me out. I'm here to help. I'm a bridge. Don't burn this bridge because, baby, when you burn it, okay,
exactly,
she burnt all the way up.
And as you and it works both ways. It can be the person or it can be the group. Like, just make sure on both sides, like you're not closing the gate. There should always be an interest in an exit. But like I said, if it's affecting you in a traumatic way, if it's affecting you in an experience that is mentally draining to you, by all means, do that. But I feel like a lot of us have just gotten so busy with our lives. The world requires so much of us that there's just simple relationships that we just don't get to.
And I feel like we don't talk about that enough. The world requires a lot out of every human being, not just us on this couch. We take on a lot ourselves.
The world requires so much.
It takes so much to be on this earth.
Hello, we just said minimum wage is still $7.75.
That part.
People $7.25.
$7.25.
That 50 cents makes a difference. $7.25. So imagine if imagine if that's the path that you're on. Like, the world requires a lot of you. So
right.
I definitely understand. Another tip: use open-ended questions. Ask open-ended questions that encourage them to express their feelings and thoughts. Don't ask questions that require a simple yes or no.
What's up? What's up with you? I'm good. You good? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, don't ask that.
It's over.
Don't ask questions that require yes or no, because people will feel inclined to answer with a yes or no. And the conversation has ended before it can even begin. If you really want a person to express how they're feeling to you, then ask open-ended questions. Ask open-ended questions.
So instead of being like, did you sleep good last night? I can either say yes or I can either say no. Instead of doing that, you can say, how did you sleep last night? So now you have to give me more information. Well, I slept good. I tossed and turned a little bit because I was having a bad nightmare. I was having a dream about the plantation coming after me, child. And by plantation, I mean my job. So it gives you opportunity.
Oh, I'm gonna spend this one down. I'm gonna spend this one down.
To Ladarius' point, it gives you that person the opportunity to go into more detail and to actually get whatever's on their chest off to you. So yeah, I love it. That's a good tidbit. Don't ask open-ended questions. Yeah, I like that.
The next tip, Percy has said this so many times just within the past 10 minutes, is listen. Actively listen.
Oh, damn. Yes, definitely.
Actively listen. Let me tell you something. There are there are quite a few things, but not a whole bunch of things that you can kind of apply to any situation and it makes it better. That's one of the things.
It is. It really is, though.
Actively listen will really.
Because most times,
most of the time, the girls just don't be listening.
Right, they'll be listening, or they be listening to respond.
Like, or instead of listening to understand.
It's like, girl, I'm finna eat you up. What you say? Okay, I'm finna eat
you up. And I ain't gonna lie, I got that bad.
Oh yeah, depending on what the situation is.
Oh, I got that bad.
I'm sitting on read.
Immediately, like, oh, I know I'm about to read this.
I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm gonna let you. But Beyonce had the greatest.
Mic drop.
I'm gonna let you finish, but Beyonce had the greatest video.
Period. That's what it gives.
It's really what it's giving. But stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
That's not right.
It's cute for the group chat, but it's toxic. AF. So listen actively, especially when you're reaching out to family members asking how they're doing. Be intrigued. Be engaged.
Yeah.
Validate their emotions. Friend, you spoke to this earlier. Nobody wants to feel like they're going through this alone. So if you create a space that's safe enough for them to express themselves, you need to validate that. Validate their feelings, even if it's not how you feel. You're never going to agree 100% with someone.
Absolutely.
So you can validate and you can offer.
Yes.
That's what you do.
I love that. And that's so true. And also to make it personable too. Like if you're coming to somebody and you're checking on them, also give them a checkup on you. Hey, I have this going on. I'm struggling with this particular area. Have you experienced some challenges with this? This is kind of like open up that dialogue. Like, hey, I'm not only putting the spotlight on you and making you share what your mental state is. I'm also inviting you to let you know, like, hey, I'm willing, I'm open to share with some of the difficulties that I'm dealing with.
But discernment is required in those situations. Because I agree with you, but some of these people out here in the world, if somebody is sharing an experience with you that's not the most positive experience, don't jump into comparison mode. Because a lot of people do that.
Oh yeah. I had that problem too. My job, I'm having a rough time at my job, and now it's not about me.
Not right.
And I can't.
You made it about you. Exactly. So don't immediately jump into
right.
Oh, well, I've had it harder than that. Right. That's not what you would want to hear.
Right.
In a moment.
Absolutely, and that's not what I'm saying either. I want to make
sure. No. I know that's not what you're saying.
Yeah. Only offer that when you're entering the conversation to just kind of like open up and get that barrier down.
Exactly.
Like, hey, girl, I'm dealing with this, da 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 da. And then after you're done talking about you, girl, I called to check up on you. What are you dealing with? How's life been for you? And what are your struggles? So they feel more willing to share with you, because sometimes it's just about this. Sometimes I'm not willing to bring my guard down because, girl, you don't tell me nothing.
Exactly, and they don't want you to run back and tell Aunt Regina. They don't want you to, because it's gonna be under the table.
Oh, they want me to run back to tell
They don't want you to run it back.
Me and my best friend, I'm gonna talk.
They gonna run back. They gonna run it back.
They gonna run it back.
Also, another tip for you is provide support and resources. Let them know that they can reach out to you when they need someone to talk to. You can be, because I know everybody is not in a financial situation to help someone financially, but I feel like we get that in our mind a lot that, the only help is always has to be financial. It's not. And you don't know until you enter into that situation. And from your experience with that situation, you can decide how you move forward. But just know that sometimes people just need to vent.
Yeah.
Let them vent.
Yeah.
Let them vent. And then encourage them to seek professional help if needed. And I need to say that. I wanted to kind of save that for the end because I can't speak for any other community but the one that I am currently experiencing with this life that I have. Our community has a hard time with doing that. But encourage them to seek professional help if they need professional
We
help.
spoke about that earlier too.
We did. If you notice signs of significant distress, if they express thoughts of self harm, if they express thoughts of harming someone out of a comedic realm, because we are joking people.
We play
We
all
play
day.
play, but you know when somebody's being real.
Right.
Let's be real about that. Offer to help them.
Oh, I love this one.
Offer to help them find mental support. If you're in a major metro area, oftentimes you'll be able to find those resources for free. If you are not, it may take you a little extra time, but offer to find that because the last thing that we want, the last thing that you want is for them to harm themselves or for them to harm someone else. So let's just be
Facts.
mindful of that
Facts.
because if you think that you're not responsible,
when they leave this earth, that
are.
burden hit you,
The burden will hit you.
it'll tell you otherwise.
It'll tell you otherwise. So, and it's not to say that your cousin Veronica, who's complaining about her job and her boss, you don't need to tell her to get a therapist, but need a therapist.
Maybe
But
tell her
if
to get a
she
new job. But
exactly, maybe like, oh well, let me look at your
give her
resume.
an option, right.
Have you thought about working
Yeah.
somewhere else? That's fine. But if she threatens to harm herself or she feels the need to do that or harm the people at her job, then you need to take action.
Yeah.
You need to take action. And then the last tip I got for y'all is to just follow up. Check it every now and then. I'm one of those people, and I kind of apply the same thing as I apply to my friendships as I do to my relationships, where I am friends with a lot of people. And to be honest, I have never had the mental capacity to maintain a lot of friendships, but I'm such a nice person that I just kind of naturally fall into friendships with people.
Mm-hmm.
But also now in this life, I mean, in this year that I'm living, I really don't even have the time to do that. To the time either. Not only do I not have the mental capacity, but I don't have the time. But I operate under the thing that my relationships are so great when I am building them that any amount of time can pass and we can just kind of pick up. So don't let time be deterrent for you to follow up. Just follow up. It could be a week. It could be a month. You don't have to talk to someone every day. You might not have the capacity to do that, but still follow up.
Right. And I'll say, when you think about that person, because I have thoughts in my head and I don't follow through with them. Like, I have a thought about a particular friend, like, oh, I wonder what she's doing. I hope she's doing well or whatever the case may be. And I'm so busy and I get caught up in my own whatever I got going on that I don't follow up and reach out to their friend to just let them know, hey, girl, I thought about you, even if it's a text message or a brief phone call. I know that that person will appreciate it and it'll go a long way for them to just do this. So if you are in that mode or you're in that moment, you think about somebody, try to just grab your phone real quick. It ain't nothing to send a text message. Hey girl, how you doing? Just thought about you.
That's a good tip.
You know.
That's a great tip because that's my issue.
Mine too.
I start to think about people as I'm doing stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I'm going to, and I always say I'm going to text them in the morning, and I forget
Preach.
every
single
time I forget. Like I'm just going to text them in the morning, and when I say text them, I usually try in the morning. I try to send people encouraging words because the world, like I said, the world requires just too much of people. Yeah, and I ain't gonna get into that.
Don't go too far,
right?
We'll be here all day.
Okay, but the world requires so much that I usually try to send people like, "Hey, good morning. Hope you have a great day," or whatever message I'm sending to the group. What was the last message? The last like really good message. I was like, "Oh, we're not doing above and beyond this week. Like that's dead. Take care of yourself.
My favorite.
Do what is required of you and do nothing more."
Period.
And like I'll just try to send something. In the mornings, I usually do it in the mornings. while I'm getting warmed up to work. But yeah, like friend gave a good tip. Like if it's on your mind, just there's nothing to send a text. You no longer have to call. You no longer have to send a letter. You no longer have to get on horseback and ride over there.
Right, right. It's simple.
Just at the text, and when you respond, you respond. And I will hope that they have the understanding to know that just because you didn't respond back to them immediately or whatever, that you may be busy. So
then even if it takes a minute for you to respond, then just give them a nice explanation to be pleasant and just say, hey, I had this going on, so it caught my attention, but blase blase, continue the conversation.
Exactly, and for you, change your understanding of what friendship is, or what family is, or what love is. A lot of people have on the notion that if you're not talking to me every day, all day, right, it's fake. It's not fake.
It's not, girl. We are all grown.
We're really grown. People have spouses. People have children. People have animals. People have multiple jobs, businesses. People have so much going on that I don't expect people to respond to me immediately at every second of every day. Doesn't mean I know that does not mean that they don't love me, or that they don't care for me, or that they're not being genuine. They're just grown.
And if you're having a mental, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, but if you have like a mental breakdown, or you feel like you really need somebody immediately,
say that.
Say that. Just let them know, like, hey, I gave you a call. If I didn't answer your phone call, because I know the people around me, they know. 9 times out of 10, you call a person, like, he's not going to pick up the phone. But if you have an emergency, I don't care if I'm working, I'm in a meeting. I don't care if I'm in a meeting or whatever the case
may be. You may answer, but he ain't going to text back.
Answer what? Answer the phone?
Yeah, you answer the phone for me, but he's not going to.
It depends. It depends, y'all. I swear. Like
I haven't made it to that moment where he's not answering for me.
Yeah, it depends on
thank God.
But you don't call me during my work hours.
No, because I be working. Well, we have
other girls be doing.
Well, we have understanding. Like we both work a corporate job, so I know what he's doing from now.
Or they do this. They call late at night. Then I'm like, okay, well, girl, I'm getting my rest. And this about me.
I ain't calling about it at 8 o'clock because for one, I'm watching TV. I'm trying to watch TV.
Me and my man, we watch TV. We watching Real Housewives of
That's what I'm saying. I ain't calling about it 8 o'clock because for one, I don't want to have a conversation that late. I don't want to bother.
I go to sleep and have nightmares.
I don't want to be bothered.
Period.
Do not. If it ain't my man, it's nobody.
Period. And that's where
all my friends know, baby. I started winding that conversation right on down. Hey, I'm available via text. I said that so much. But I mean it though. But I do mean it. I said and I mean it all the time. Hey, I'll talk later. I'll text you. I'll be available via text. I say that all the time.
I like that though. I can see it because sometimes I'm just available via text. And matter of fact, just automatically assume text message first. And then if it's an emergency or you need something, then let me know via text message. Or just give me a call. Call me twice, and then I know.
I told you that the other day. You probably not ever realize. You'll realize it now that I'll be available via text. I think I told you that the other day we talked on FaceTime.
I'm not sure, but I'm always a texter. I feel like I probably rarely have ever called you.
No, or anybody I always call you.
Yeah, and that's anybody. Whether my best friend, my sisters, my mom. They have to call me first.
But see, we have to be better. We have to realize that everybody's not a caller.
Yeah, I'm really not. But
communication is just what it is. It's communication. It's multifaceted. There are many ways to reach people. Everybody, like, I am a talker. I don't like texting, but I text people. I know it don't make sense, but
it does make sense. And let me tell you why.
Most people prefer to be. Tell me why.
It makes sense because, first of all, you work in corporate America, like you said. You're already getting so many emails a day.
And I tell you, I don't check.
I know your email is probably ridiculous right now.
I know I got like 10,000 unread emails.
You see what I'm saying?
But luckily, I'm in a position to have this Apple Watch, so I don't have to read it because the Apple Watch will just show me the little thing.
You can see what
and I can just see it. And I'll
just
whatever. Continue to walk to the hall. Continue.
Right. And so you're dealing with it. That's a form of communication. Then you have social media on top of that that can be draining, and that's another form of people to reach out to you via DMs, via comments, whatever the case may be. Then you also have just regular, normal
Teams, Slack, social media, Yammer,
Oh my gosh, Yammer. She's completely mute. I ain't checking Yammer. Please get out of here, girl.
If you in somebody's office, you know Yammer. It's a Yammer girl. I be getting.
Stop
Let me tell you.
So
I get an email every night like 1 a.m.
Who's up?
Yammer updates. I was like, no, who got the? I'm not. You know what? I'm a mission to my boss. Like, hey, do you get those 1 a.m. Yammer updates? Like, who said that? Who said that for the company?
Highly inappropriate.
Who said that? Because I get that little email alert every night, and I just be like, oh, what is it? It's freaking the pet Yammer.
See,
it's every night I get the email, so I need to actually. I'm glad you brought that up because I need to make a mention of that. Like, I know y'all are getting this email, and yeah. Okay.
And I know we gave a tidbit about you guys muting your social media accounts.
Mute it
for your notifications.
Mute it.
Mute that Yammer.
Mute it.
If you're in the corporate America, only attend the meetings that are absolutely required for you to attend, because all these things are avenues and ways for people to communicate with you.
And practice walking meetings. That's something that we are really pushing at my company now.
Get out and see the greens and smell.
Hey, and if you're in New York City and you got to see the pavement, get out and see it. Just move your body.
I'm on concrete jungle.
Walk. I feel like when you practice a walking meeting, it kind of eases that. It eases that requirement. You have to be taking notes, and you've got to be super tuned in and engaged, and they're going to be asking you to do all these things. Like, no.
You can answer them same questions on your walk.
On your walk.
Or while you're in Target. It's been
done. Why are you in the line at
Shout out to my plantation.
Express? Yeah. Hello.
I'm checking out, hello. But
why are you in
this
TJ
is where
Maxx?
you messed up. Right.
You can answer it.
It's true.
But yes, let's talk to bring us back in. Create a safe and non-judgmental space. First tip for checking in. Use open-ended questions. Second tip.
Yes.
Listen actively. Universal tip. I know I have to put universal on there because that's a universal tip.
Heavy on that one.
Heavy. Validate their emotions. The same way that you would want somebody to react to you in a situation of need, act the same way towards other people. And if you don't feel like you ever need anything, just put yourself in their shoes. What would you want to hear?
Empathy will take you a long way.
Empathy would take you a long way. Tough love, toxic.
Oh,
toxic. We don't need tough love, baby. We don't need that. We get enough tough love out here in the universe, out in the world, just trying to exist.
And then just within ourselves, because we're tough on ourselves.
We're tough on ourselves. Sometimes we don't need that. And I keep having to reiterate that to a few people. I don't need that, sweetie.
Hello?
That's how you get blocked. I don't need that. I need love and encouragement. Hello? I'm just set up that way.
Period.
Encourage them to seek professional help if needed. Use your discernment, but don't let anybody feel like they need to commit self-harm to themselves or to other people. You've got a responsibility, and it may be a hard one, but you just have to take that one, Provide and then just generally provide support and resources, offer advice and not decrees. And then just kind of follow up, even if it's irregularly.
Advice, not decrees. Love it.
Yeah. Just follow up. It could be a week. It could be a month. It could be a year. It's never too late to be like, hey, just thinking about you. I've been busy. They can take it or they could take it or they could leave it. But remember, I want to put this PSA out there because I know we're both on our own mental health journeys. Remember, while you can provide support, it's very important to realize your own limitations. How much can you truly give, and how can you slice that? Just remember your own limitations. This conversation was in no way asking you to push your limit or break the mold or go above and beyond, because I don't support that. Unless it's on your own fruition for something that's very important to you. But just remember your own limitations and just kind of make a plan with how you can incorporate kind of checking in on your family within those limitations. And remember, nobody who has contributed to traumatic events Leave them in the dark, sweetie. Um,
Right. That's above your capacity.
above
Don't
all
even.
of our capacities,
Right.
dealing with that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Dealing with it right now. Leave that. I will leave that in the dark. I don't
We got two
even
mental
have that.
problem. One mental problem. We need two.
Ha ha
Okay,
ha ha
so
ha. And to be
within
honest,
your
see, most of the
limits.
time they are part of most of your mental problems. I'm learning that in therapy.
Oh,
And I'm learning that in therapy. You just have to unpack it. When you're ready, though. When you're ready.
I ain't ready.
When you're ready. But
I think those are some good tidbits.
it was.
Some
I
very
just
great
encourage you to
notes.
be mindful. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. You may feel like you're in not a good space, but also have the understanding that your space may be better than somebody else's space.
Mm.
Um,
That can change your word around too.
it can, and it can. I'm so glad you said that because I would not have thought of that.
You
But
said it, friend.
I know, but then when you said it, it put something in me to say that
Mm.
that can not only change that person's world, but it can change yours.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes your situation more positive.
Mm-hmm.
Not only do
For sure.
not only human desire not only wants to feel like needed, but uh, oh, we don't only want to be the receivers, but sometimes we have to be the giver as well. Any final thoughts before we jump out of this, friend?
Only fun thought that I got, just thinking from like a personal standpoint. I know we talked a lot about just being there for a companion or someone that you love and you care for, but also be there and show for yourself too. Recognize some of your mental health um, things that you're dealing with. You know, internally, when you look at yourself in the mirror, some of the issues that you wake up in the morning dealing with, try to tend to those and try to be kind to yourself and even provide yourself with some positive affirmations.
Absolutely.
And if you do feel like you're at this state or that point where you feel like you have no one that you can talk to in your personal life, like LD said, recognize those and then reach out to some professional help to help them, because what they're going to do is they're going to help you talk through some of those situations and come up with a clear plan and just kind of like just lay out what those issues look like to you so you can address them, come up with a solution for them, and so you can be a better person because of them. So I don't want this talk just to be seem like you have to extend yourself to someone else. You also first and foremost must extend yourself
2 years out.
to yourself.
That should be a part of
Yeah.
your conversation with yourself about what your limitations are.
Mm.
Remember, people, grace is not just for you to give; it's also
Mm.
for you.
I heard that.
Grace is also for you. You have to also give yourself.
For real, I heard
You
that.
have to also give yourself grace.
Because we are hardest on ourselves most times. Like you're so hard on yourself opposed to the
Every
world. Like you give so much kindness and so much love to everyone else. And sometimes you look in the mirror and you're like, you're not doing enough. You could be better. You could be doing better. And it all weighs and drains on your mental. So just know
absolutely,
that you're not the only one that feels those thoughts and are dealing with those things. And push through. You'll be fine.
for
Seek the help
sure,
that you need and reach out to good friends and escape
absolutely,
some of that thinking.
absolutely.
For sure. Wrap us up, friend. What you got?
I mean, I just kind of feel like that was like a bow on the end, and we should move into our final segment of the show, which is the homework. What was
Yeah.
our homework for?
Now, Chad, I never know what our homework. I believe, first of all, slacking on me because I don't even think I posted the last homework
We're gonna get y'all caught up.
assignment.
We're gonna get y'all caught up over the weekend. We're gonna put some stuff out
Because I know I
because it's
made it.
and it's the same for me because I usually kind of create the post. Oh
She's
shoot!
creative. She just was never posted.
Oh,
I went right into the stores and stuff. I was already behind y'all. Like, this is the team, as if I already
was almost
stated.
something about our mothers. Like it was. I know we talked about Mother's Day.
Was that the previous one?
I remember the previous one. I really just don't remember the one from last week.
The previous one we agreed on,
We
right?
did.
And so the one from last week was.
John, I tell you.
Go back, check out social media.
Check out social media. It'll be
I'll post it on
updated
our
soon.
story.
Homework for the week. I don't worry. I'll tell you mine. I usually ask you for mine, and we might agree on this one. Homework for the week is do a check-in.
I'm so over it.
There's somebody in your life
For sure.
who you did not have a negative experience with, who you have not heard from in a minute. Just do a check-in. And like I said, the check-in does not necessarily have to be a question. It can just be a statement. It can be, "Hey, thinking of you. Hey, hope you have a great day."
It goes a long way.
Just it goes a long way. We are simple people, and simple things mean a lot.
Yes.
It has a ripple effect. So that's my homework.
I love that. And I second that homework as well. I was going to give you guys a break and not provide you guys with any homework from my end because it's vacation time. We're finna into the summer. Y'all already
We're
got
about to
going
enter the
on.
summer, but we ain't in the summer. So you finna work over here.
Oh, so you still got a little homework to do.
You still got a little homework to do.
Okay, well, I got to listen to the lead professor.
School ain't out just yet.
Okay, school ain't out just yet. So let's do this last homework assignment, you guys. And it's just, honestly, to look yourself in the mirror and just to have a conversation with yourself and just talk with yourself and identify what changes would you like to see in yourself. What are some things that you're struggling with, some of the things that you may be dealing with that you can be better in, and just kind of just be kind to yourself and give yourself some positive affirmations.
See, now that homework things are different than mine. Get homework.
It's different.
It is definitely different.
Well, yeah.
And you got them on reflection mode.
Go into reflection because, honey, for you to show up for somebody else with Ladarius' homework, you need to show up for yourself first.
So we're giving them a 2-for-1.
So it's a 2-for-1.
You start here. This is step 1.
Get in that mirror first, girls.
Get in that mirror.
While you're doing that beat.
We give you step 1 and step 2.
That's step 1.
That's
Talk to yourself, get your mental right, and let whatever it is out to you.
Step 2, reach out to someone else.
Period. Don't just stop at yourself.
Don't stop at yourself.
Take it far.
Take your joy into the world.
Just like you need that affirmation.
Just like Jesus.
Go out there.
Take your joy into the world and spread it.
We all can learn a lot from Jesus. Okay. Oh, but the girls ain't ready for that. Y'all not. They
ain't ready. They're not ready for that.
I think y'all out here.
They're not ready because, friend, I just almost went somewhere.
Me too.
But to that, I say not today.
Not today.
I don't have any final thoughts, friend.
Me either. I'm just gonna wrap it up because I go there. I'm on edge.
Well, y'all, this has been a great conversation as we wrap up Mental Health Awareness Month. If you're watching us on YouTube, leave us a comment, give us some advice. If you have questions for us, you can leave them there. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts, like our page.
Yes, and leave a review
and leave a review.
5-star reviews if you believe so. And if you don't, mind your business.
You can also reach out to us via our Instagram at 2Go Mics Podcast, right?
Yep, on Instagram.
And Twitter.
And then on Twitter, we're at 2Go Mics. You know, too many characters.
Too many characters.
To do the podcast.
TikTok is coming soon. You'll probably have it before the next episode. Yeah. And then you can reach out to just us in general. I am at LG_lifesgood_ on Instagram. You'll see it somewhere down here. And I'm also at your bestie_LD at Twitter. And I'll probably be changing it to kind of. I think I'm going to go ahead and just update myself.
I'm more missing LG's Life is Good too, though.
I'm missing, but I'm not convicted because one of my best friends, Jerry, is like he kept threatening like, oh, because I'm in college and everybody had Instagram with me. Uh-huh. I like the only social media I had was Facebook. He was like, no, you need to. Everybody's on Instagram. So he kept saying, I made your Instagram. You just don't know what's on it. So eventually,
really?
Yeah, he did. So eventually, by probably
like Darius on the show too.
6 months into it, I was like, okay, let me just make my own because I don't like anybody else having control of me. So I just made my own, and that's just what it was.
Yes, life was good apparently.
No, life was not good, but I was like, dang, I don't know. My Instagram inspired. I think I had an LG TV, and that's literally the thing.
Really, friends.
It's literally the thing for LG, the company.
It is. Oh my gosh, I am mind blown.
Your mind blown. So
my mind is blown.
Just to be clear, life was not good, but I could not think of an Instagram name. I was like LG. I was looking at the TV. I thought that life's good. Like this is just what it's going to be. This is what it's
Wow.
gonna be. I'm failing biology right now.
Wow.
It's gonna be this, and then.
Period. Love it. I love the name even more now. I know you talking about changing, but now I'm like, okay, now I love this name even more. And you guys can follow me at I am that guy Louis on Instagram and on Twitter. Man, I swear, you never cease to surprise me with your mind. Lord have mercy, I didn't know that.
OMG. Well, that is all.
Yes, it's been a
You're out
pleasure,
here. Check out
guys.
my. We talked about Derek, so check out his podcast.
Oh yes,
At the
definitely check out some.
checkpoint.
He be having some words on there too. Like he get me together sometimes. I come across his little Instagram post. I'm like, yes, I need to hear that today. I need to because sometimes it just resonates in your spirit, and you need to be uplifted. And he does a great job, and he's doing great work on his podcast too. So if you haven't already, please check him out.
You have to. Well, maybe we'll try to get him on the show for Pride Month.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's all I have for y'all.
Yeah.
If no one has told you that they love you today,
We love you.
All right.
You guys have an amazing rest of the week.
Yes, and have a safe 3-day weekend if you're listening to us.
Mm-hmm.
It's Memorial Day weekend, so
yes, thank God for her.
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Enough time for you to
stay positive.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's it. I'm LD.
I'm Percy.
And
this has been
To Go Rights.
Peace.